Lights are bright. Okay, all right, we are once again on our own here at the Treehouse Brewing Company YouTube channel. My name is Nate, co-founder, head brewer, and CEO here at Treehouse, and I want to welcome you back to our home. Today I dove through the cooler, and I would like to highlight some of the things that we've currently been working on. Some things are older, some things are newer, but I just want to highlight some of the stuff that we are super excited about in this moment. I know you guys like to see me pour the beer into a glass, and I know you guys love to see me take a sip, but after I hit record and once I sat down, I just realized that I don't have a glass. Undecided whether or not I'm going to keep going. I think I'm going to power through, and I think when I get to a few of the ones at the end that have beautiful color, I'm going to jump out, and you might even get a little edit out of me on this video. So without further ado, I want to dive right into it. One of the things that I drink all day, every day, is our strawberry lemonade seltzer. We made the seltzer program, and we started to make seltzer primarily as cocktail mixers when we first came out with our rum a couple of years ago. And over time, we just started drinking them more than we drank anything else. And we continue to make them, and we continue to, try new flavors and try different things to see what we like. And for me, strawberry lemonade, I drink like 8 of these a day. Delicious. I'm gonna keep this one off to the side and keep drinking it throughout the video, so hopefully I don't have to clear my throat all that much. All right, where do I wanna go first? So many wonderful things to talk about. I am going to start with a classic, Bright. Fans of Treehouse have seen this beer around for quite a while. It's had a renaissance in recent years. People actually ask for it, which is funny because when we first released it way back in the day, it was no one's favorite beer, and they would always get upset about each time that we packaged Bright. So we would hear things like a Wednesday screw job, or I didn't drive all the way to Treehouse for Bright. But truth is, it's a wonderful beer. It carves out its own niche in our lineup, and it tastes fantastic. I wouldn't quite call it a West Coast style IPA. It's certainly influenced by the West Coast, but it has our own take, it has our own hop selections, and it has our own process. So I'd call it a little bit softer, a little bit brighter, a little bit less dry than your classic West Coast IPA, but it's full of blueberry flavor. It's full of rich, fruity, citrusy, hoppy flavor. And the original Bright batch features one of our favorite hops, Mosaic. Moving on to Trail Peacherine. I will sound like a broken record this year and in future years singing the praises of this wonderful hop from New Zealand. If you guys are fans of the channel, it's not the first time you've heard me talk about it. We ventured all the way to New Zealand to experience this guy in the field for the first time, and the way that it works in a fresh batch of our Pilsner Trail is phenomenal. Beautiful, beautiful, rich notes of stone fruit and citrus, soft, thirst-quenching, not overwhelming. This beer is fantastic, one of my favorites of the year. In fact, if you guys remember meeting Porter on the New Zealand trip, before I made this video, I was just discussing how wonderful this beer is, and we decided to put it into the video. Gonna go back to the strawberry lemonade. No edits. Just hanging out. We're just hanging out. You guys open a beer? If you haven't opened a beer as you're watching the video, you're doing it wrong. If I were you and I was sitting at home right now, I don't know, maybe it's 7 o'clock Sunday morning. Maybe you want to get into some double shot right now. I don't know. Have yourself a time. You've earned it. Moving on. I'm going to jump into Golden Fern. Golden Fern is an elevated version of Silver Fern that we introduced earlier this year, and it features 4 of our favorite New Zealand hops in excessive doses. Standard dry hop rate for Treehouse, 4, 5, 6 pounds per barrel. This guy well in excess of that. Bad idea to drink seltzer on camera. Got a burp. I'm sorry. This is so hard. Golden Fern, 4 of our favorite New Zealand style hops, Waimea, Peacherine, Nelson, and Motueka, absolutely overflowing with rich, juicy, tropical character to the max. One of the things that we try to do at Treehouse is to pack our beers full of that wondrous hop flavor, but not overwhelm your palate and allow you to enjoy that beer at the bottom of the glass just as much as you enjoy it at the top of the glass. One of the things that I run into with a lot of beers that are perhaps hyped is that they taste great for that first couple of sips, but as you work your way through the glass, they get astringent and they get medicinal and they start to taste not so good. One of our creative principles here at Treehouse is that something has to taste as good, if not better, at the bottom of the glass as it does at the start of the glass. This beer embodies that ideal to the max. So good, and we don't have a lot of these hops. Maybe we'll get 1 or 2 more batches of either Silver or Golden Fern before next year's crop year, so this guy is running low. If you haven't already had it, what are you waiting for? Man, I gave myself a lot. How long is this video? I'm already like 8 minutes into it. Triple shot pink bourbon, double coffee with vanilla and fruit. Holy cow, that is a mouthful. Dan, who was our barrel program manager, has a way of taking crazy ideas and making them taste fantastic. This beer, in my opinion, is his best work yet. This just works. And what we mean by double coffee is we use whole bean coffee and we use cold brew concentrate, both roasted and extracted by the Treehouse Coffee Company. The coffee team was overwhelmed with excitement this year about pink bourbon. In fact, I think I talked about this cold brew in a different video where I mentioned that it tastes like fruity pebbles. Dan took that idea and was like, you know what, let's throw some fruit at it, let's throw a little vanilla at it, let's throw a little barrel at it, and we're gonna make a stout that is like nothing else that's on the market. And this beer is a triumph. Sometimes when you try to combine too many ingredients, things won't work out. This particular beer, in my opinion, flies under the radar. It is a wonderful beer. It's an experience. Pour it into the glass, give it a swirl, kick your feet up, relax, contemplate what's gone into making this beer, and enjoy it. It's fantastic. All right, where do we go from here? Back to the seltzer. I'm breaking my own rule. Tanuki Sochu. This guy from John and the crew down in the distillery is highly inventive and highly expressive spirit that's super unique. It's made from essentially the leftover sake distillation, the lees and the leftover rice from, I apologize, Farthest Star Sake, which is located, I think, in Milford, Mass. I'll put an overlay on the video. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's one of the only true sake distilleries in New England. And John befriended the folks over there, and they were kind enough to give us some of their leftover rice and lees from their sake fermentation and distillation. And we took that, re-fermented it, redistilled it, and what came out of it is crazy. Tasting notes here are coconut, banana, mango, pistachio. I remember I went down to the distillery the day that John was bottling this. He's like, hey, Nate, brother. If you know John, he's got a small accent. Hey, brother, come on over here, taste this. Let me know what you smell. And you smell everything. It's incredibly aromatic, estery, tropical fruits. You get citrus in there, mixed nuts, berries, fruit leather. Crazy, crazy, crazy nose on this spirit. And if you're a fan of making cocktails at home and having fun with it, this is a very, very fun product to enjoy as part of your home bar. El Diablo. This guy is made with dark currants. It's made with ginger beer, and it's made with citrus forward agave, and it is just an all-around crusher. Think about if you've had our Concord Club, that dark currant tastes kind of grapey, sweet like a Concord grape in a few ways. Throw a little bit of ginger in there, throw a little bit of citrus. It is just flavorful and delightful and bubbly and wonderful, all made in-house, packaged in-house, dreamed up in-house. This guy is El Diablo. Get it while it's hot. Cosmic Odyssey. So this is kind of a funny backstory for this one. Porter, again, who you guys know, one of our brewers here at Treehouse, very passionate guy about hops in particular, sends me little love notes on the brew schedule once a week and says, you know, brew the Zappa thing, brew the Zappa thing, brew the Zappa thing. Just don't like the way Zappa smells. So for a while I put it off, I put it off, put it off. I thought aromatically when rubbing Zappa hops, they were kind of minty and herbal and woody. But once again, through the magic of biotransformation, what wound up presenting itself in this particular beer is like a spicy citrus note. And it's very unique, but it's super appealing. And once you try it, you almost can't stop drinking it. So Cosmic Odyssey is the first time we've ever used Zappa. And I'm delighted to say that I resisted doing it for a long time, but it actually turned out quite nice. Don't know how often we'll make this guy, probably not very, just because we only have a few boxes of Zappa and sometimes it can be hard to get more. And last but not least, batch 6000, just in Charlton. If I'm to be totally honest, I think we've lost count. We're probably in excess of 10,000 batches at this point, and at some point I will go through the exercise of trying to figure out how many batches we brewed. But in Charlton, in this location since 2017, we have brewed 6,000 batches. This guy's got a little bit of an air of mystery around it. We are very sentimental at Treehouse. We're also very reflective, so there's a bit of a meditation about that on the back of the can. As far as what this beer is, excuse me, I knew it was a bad idea to drink the seltzer. Also a bad idea to record the video after you just had lunch. But there's only so much time in the day. Batch 6000 is an amalgamation of a lot of our favorite double IPAs. I know that sounds kind of like a cop-out, but when we write the recipe for a beer like this, we kind of look at what's working in the moment, and then we kind of take little bits and pieces from what's working, and we put it into this beer. This particular beer combines our house yeast with kind of the new yeast strain that we've been playing around with this year, the new yeast blend rather. It's an amalgamation in many ways. There's a lot of very hazy in this beer. There's a lot of King Julius in this beer. And there's a little bit of that sort of silk and satin DNA in this beer, all kind of mishmashed together. Big hop bill, very complex. What I can tell you is that for one reason or another, these milestone batches just work. This guy pours a beautiful turbid yellow color into your glass. Tastes like mixed tropical fruit, orange juice, and frankly, happiness. So if you don't mind, think about trying batch 6000 to celebrate this milestone with us. The label is beautiful. It's got this floral motif going on, which I think looks quite nice on the can. I want to thank you guys for supporting Treehouse Brewing Company. One more thing that I want to mention is that for me, I derive a great deal of pleasure and fulfillment from having the opportunity to represent the team here at Treehouse. It certainly takes a village. There is no one person who is responsible for any one thing to a great extent. We collaborate, we work together, we truly self-assess, and we do so honestly, and we aspire to improve every single day. We pour our hearts and souls into these beverages, and I hope that I am a good steward and representative of that energy. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care.